Hi, I'm Cindy Ferrens, independent consultant and senior team leader with Sunset Gourmet. The next recipe in our freezer meal workshop series is our anime meatloaf. So I've got roughly 2 pounds of meat, ground beef, and I've put a pound in each of the gallon Ziploc bags. The next thing I've got is 2 eggs, and I'm just going to whip those together. Just going to make it easier because we're going to do all the mixing of the meatloaf in the freezer bags. Just saves on mess. Alrighty, so basically I'm going to put half of the 2 eggs into each bag. I think I overdid that one. Oh well, that's the nice thing about these recipes is they can be, they don't have to be exact. I'm going to add a tablespoon of spinach and herb seasoning. Actually, this is one of the feature products for this recipe. It's our spinach and herb seasoning. We've also got our garlic pepper with a twist of lime, our oso onion, and our Anime's smoky sweet oven and grill sauce. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of spinach and herb, which is roughly one capful, or half a capful rather. Each of the capfuls holds roughly 2 tablespoons of seasoning. So I'm going to put half of that into each bag. Okay. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of garlic pepper. So I use about an 1/8 of a capful. Okay, and then just put half in each bag. If you're doing a full meatloaf for a larger family, feel free to do it and it'll all fit into the 1 gallon bag. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oso onion. So put a tablespoon into each bag. So I'm going to fill the whole cap. That's going to be 2 tablespoons. Half a cup into each bag. Like that. This is one of the simplest meatloafs I've ever tried. I'm just going to zip the bag up, and then we're just going to mix everything all together. I think one of the reasons that I don't make meatloaf very often is I don't like all the sticky mess in between my fingers. So this kind of does away with that. You just want to mix. I'm going to let some of the air out of the bag right now, just so I can mix it up a little bit better. Okay. There we go. Just want to make sure the egg is all mixed in nicely. Okay. That looks like it's pretty good. Okay. And I'll just do the other one. Let some of the air out and mix away. Okay. This is a great recipe if you've got young kids. They can even help you with this because they'd love to be able to mix that stuff in the bag for you. They can help mom out, and you don't have to worry about having a messy kitchen either because it keeps everything contained in the bag. Okay, so that's the meatloaf all mixed together. So you're going to flatten that down so it's going to take up less space in your freezer. Okay, and then same thing with my other bag, just flatten it. Okay, and I'm just going to let some more air out and seal up the bag. Let's double check this one. This one needs a little bit more air out too. Okay, taking all the air out is just going to keep it from getting freezer burned. Then if you got those little snack treat bags, the Ziploc bags, what I've done is added a quarter, this is going to be the glaze, so it's a 1/4 of a cup of our Anime's smoky sweet oven and grill sauce and a 1/4 of a cup of honey. So just swoosh that together. You're gonna do I'm going to do 2 bags because I've got the recipe divided in half. Swoosh it all together. So what's going to happen is when you take this out of the freezer, you can make it into meatballs. Just use a cookie scoop. They're perfect for using for a nice sized meatball, or you can also put it into a loaf pan and make your meatloaf. And then what I'm going to do is put one of the bags of meat and one of the bags of the glaze. So if you're doing The meatballs, you can just brush the glaze over top of the meatballs before you bake them, or brush it over top of the meatloaf when it's going in the oven. Okay, put that in the Ziploc bag. Make sure the air is out. Okay. Put that in there, and make sure you label your bags too so you know what's in there. Otherwise you're going to have freezer meal surprise when you pull out the meals. I usually like to put a date on it too, just so I know when it's gone into the freezer. So there you have it. There's our anise meatloaf or meatballs. Stay tuned for our next recipe, which is our smoky pulled pork.